Do you ever wonder if, like, my heart is wide open? I just love life and love people, but I'm not very grounded, so all that love backfires on me, and I end up being abused and exploited, taken advantage of. And why? Why? I'm just trying to be a loving person. Well, that's very common for intuitives and empaths. You know, what we have is an overly open heart, and we aren't grounded in our roots. So it's like a tree that's just going to topple over. Now, this can be corrected, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. How to get the root chakra, which is your foundation, to get grounded, to support your open heart so you're solid and you're nourished and you're solid and you're not being swayed around and taken advantage of. Hi, I'm Sonia Choquette. Thank you for tuning in. If you're coming back, welcome back. And if you're here for the first time, I'm so happy to welcome you as we talk about how to ground and balance your chakras and not get bowled over because you love too much. And if you enjoy it, be sure to hit the subscribe button so we can stay connected. Now, back to the subject at hand. Is your heart so open and you're just trying so hard to love everybody, and all you're getting and experiencing is that I get beat up, I'm not grounded, I'm taken advantage of, I'm exhausted? Well, I will go back to one of the teachings of one of the master teachers of all time, Jesus Christ. He said, love your neighbor as yourself, not instead of. So let's just start the as yourself part, which is the teaching of the century. This is what we need to learn. And loving yourself begins with your body. So your root chakra starts with first recognizing I have a physical body that needs certain things to be well, to be cared for, to be healthy, and I cannot neglect those things. I need to know what they are and then give myself what I need. It's not one size fits all. One person, like for example, I have a daughter who needs 10 hours of sleep a night, and I have another who needs 3. So, and it changes. So start paying attention to what you actually need. Do you need some more sleep? Are you getting enough? How about your diet? Are you getting enough water? That's a big one, as most of us are dehydrated. Too much coffee, too much Red Bull, too much soda, and no water, and our bodies go into fight or flight. And anxiety. So getting enough water, getting enough sleep, getting enough protein, that's another one. Too much bread, too much junk food, too much processed food. Again, abandoning the ship of self-care, you go into anxiety because your body's not getting what it needs. It's in survival. So basic common sense. Next, have a spiritual practice of some sort that's consistent daily, that takes care of you. Mine is that I meditate in the morning and at night for 20 minutes each time. That's mine. My daughter has a morning practice where she does breath work and some yoga. My friend Marion has a practice where she does qigong. What is your practice? You get to decide. You get to create this practice, but it's the key to your being grounded with a strong root chakra is consistency. So pick a practice that you will be consistent with. Better 5 minutes of meditation in the morning than say I'm going to meditate for an hour and do it once and then forget about it because it's simply not practical. Maybe your spiritual practice is listening to a piece of classical music, getting up before the rest of the family and having a moment to yourself, or having time to journal a little bit. Maybe that's your spiritual practice. I do think a little movement is very healthy and helpful, and it could even be just 5 minutes of stretching. But it just says, I'm here, I'm in my body, I love myself, I'm going to take care of myself. A couple of deep breaths, in and out, just to release stress and tension, and just to sort of welcome the day, and then set an intention for the day. What's the most important thing for me to achieve this day? If you have and know your agenda and you have some goals, name the most important things that also grounds you and roots you. So love yourself as your neighbor. Love your neighbor as yourself. Well, I have to show up for me as a way of actively, in action steps, loving myself. And write down what it is you're committed to. Tell people this is what I'm committed to. And also, game changer, ask them, please help me with this if you can. I'd love your help and support. It's important that I finish my project. It's important that I get the garage clean. It's important if you can help me or support me in achieving that and not get distracted, I'd appreciate that. It's a very effective way to get grounded. So when you love yourself and you meet your own needs, then you're going to be more realistic about not overgiving to others. Now, I was raised Catholic, and I was like a Catholic girl. So I was raised that everybody's need was more important than mine, and that if I were taking care of my needs, I was being selfish. Well, that's a crock of bull. That's a big old lie, and it's also really bad advice. Taking care of yourself is the most important thing you can do for others because you show up not in drama. You show up in good energy, filled up and full and refueled with positivity. So if you got that same memo I did, delete. That is not true. It's bad advice. It's the root of codependency and self-loathing, and it's never going to get you anything good. Now, practice this sentence. I'd love to help. I won't be able to today. Gee, I wish I could, but it'll work out. I wish I could. I can't today. Self-love is the ability to say no when necessary. And you can say it in a way that isn't going to be provocative. You don't have to scream, no, leave me alone. You can say, gee, I wish I could, but that's not going to work out for me. Practice saying that, I wish I could, but I can't do that today, or that won't work for me today. That's another way to balance your heart so you're not overgiving. Then here's another tool, and it's a big one. If someone has a problem, don't rush in to fix it. Just breathe, just listen, don't fix it, don't claim it as your own, and just say, I'm sorry you're having this problem. I'm sorry you're struggling with that, and don't offer solution. Don't say, give it to me, because I don't want to hear it. Just sit with it. That's called respecting their boundaries. Every challenge any one of us is given is because we have something to learn from it. So if you're taking it away from someone, you're depriving them of the opportunity to learn what they need to learn from that challenge. Now, if someone in a car accident needs you to help them with dinner, that's different. That is a different, very legitimate need. But if someone's just downloading their problem and never making any genuinely conscious change about that problem, then they need to have it a little longer so they can sort it out. You can say, you know what? I have faith in you. You'll work it out. I trust you. And I'll pray for you. And I love you. And I have and I care about you, and I know this is hard, but you'll get through it. That way, hands off, I love you, but I don't have to take on your life as a demonstration of love. My demonstration of love is a vote of confidence in you. People actually will get more from that than you giving them solutions and saving them, because that's basically saying, you can't manage your lives, you better let me do it. And that's actually very damaging to people. So these are a couple of tips and tools. I'll be back again with more. I don't want to overload you, but these actually work very well. Getting grounded, being attentive and meeting your own basic needs with love and responsibility will balance the heart so that you can love others. Just know, love your neighbor as yourself, not more than yourself, and expect them to replenish you. Love your neighbor as yourself and start with yourself. So when you love your neighbor, you're doing it in a balanced way. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you find this useful. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing and hit that little bell so that you'll get notified when I come back next week with another tip or tool. Love you lots and lots, and I look forward to seeing you again with more tips and tools for living an intuitively intelligent, joyful, creative, grounded, happy, spirited life. All my love.